I just want to talk about side hustling, okay? And I want to encourage people to stop side hustling, okay? So what are the people ideas? Like you have a stable job, a full-time job, which gives you a stable income, and then on the side, so maybe you start like a YouTube channel or you do this side hustle until, eventually it gets so big you can quit your full-time job or something like this. Um, So maybe this is a good advice for people who like cannot tolerate any risk. And it's essentially the advice of people like for parents giving it to you, and especially people who've never really done anything like this. So that's how they imagine you do it, and you do it safely. But you really got to understand risk. Like this is not a good approach. It's kind of annoying because why would you make a side hustle why would you make your main thing a side hustle? So most of the time when people have a full-time job, I feel like it's more like they're almost like silent quit, right? They silent quit. They're doing their full-time job pretty half-assed, and they spend most of their energy on their passion, which is their side hustle. And usually a lot of the time nothing ever comes of the side hustle. You never actually find enough time to pursue what you want to do. Okay. So if you're young, you don't need that security of a full-time job. You just got to be humble enough to live like a bum, okay? And really commit to something you care about. You don't need a side hustle for your passion. You need the main hustle. Okay, you just need to hustle. All right, you just need to do something that you think is important with all your effort. It's some sort of like all in. Okay, it's not a side pod. It's like the main pod. So like people be like, oh, that's super risky. Like what if it doesn't work out? Well, shit happens. Like things won't always work out. And risk exists, okay? And don't think like you got a full-time job, you're actually safe, right? Like you could lose your job. You could get fired. There's lots of um risks associated with just having a full-time job. Okay. Like and essentially what a job is, it's essentially just a business, but you basically pay insurance. And the insurance that you pay buys you what is your salary, okay? And the salary appears to be more guaranteed because even if the business doesn't succeed, you'll still be paid. Okay. But notice if the business does succeed, you might get paid a bonus or something, but you never really get paid to the level of the success of the business, right? You know what I'm talking about? So like, even if you're working like a trading firm, you get like you could get like $1 million bonus. That's huge, right? But the profits that you might even be generating with your own portfolio could be like in the hundreds of millions, depending on what kind of responsibility you have. Okay. And so this goes in a lot with, and this is especially true in Australian culture. Okay, so this idea of this safety and just sort of anti-business, anti-entrepreneurial, lack of understanding of money is so central in Australian culture. Okay, like yeah, so the thing about Australia is that the salary is actually quite high, right? So so it's actually quite tempting to actually get into this because you actually get quite paid quite well. Okay. But what people don't realize is actually how much. So, so this is a saying that is very clear to me because everyone's get paid well, okay, but everyone kind of complains that they're not really getting paid what they deserve, or people don't really appreciate what they do at work and stuff like that. But the reality is, like, they're getting paid much more than they actually work, okay. So that's just the truth. Like, how much you think you do, you don't actually do the amount you get paid, okay. You're getting like basically a tax benefit from the fact that the company saves taxes for paying you. Okay. But the other thing is like, but do you get paid what you deserve? Okay, that's another question, right? So you get paid a lot more than what you actually do, but here's the thing, you're getting paid a lot less than you probably deserve, right? Because in some sense you're sacrificing a big part of your potential to do this basically dead job, right? And a lot of people like, people get a job and a lot of the time it's like they feel like, oh, I can't believe these people are paying me so much, and essentially I'm doing nothing, right? So there's a lot of jobs where like you're getting paid quite a lot for doing nothing, right? But at the end of the day is you're doing nothing. You're not accomplishing anything, right? You're just getting underpaid to exist. Okay, and that is not a worthy goal for a human being. Do you understand? So like for some people it's great. Like the people that hold the signs up on the road. That's like it's probably like 60, $80 an hour. It's like a great job because you don't need any qualifications. You don't do anything, right? Okay, but like, but if that so, but and if that's the maximum for your potential, like if that's like you're contributing to society clearly, but like if that's like the limit of your brain capacity, then you might consider yourself a success, right? But if you could have actually built the building that you were holding the sign up to, then that is a great waste of potential, right? And you would actually get, paid a lot more to build the building. If you didn't need to make money, like what would you do? Okay. And so if what you would do if you had no need for money is very different than what you're doing when you do have a need for money, then in some sense the difference is the compromise that you made and sacrificed to make that money, right? And in an ideal world, I mean, you if you did something you loved doing and you thought was worthwhile, and something you would have done anyway, even if you had the money, then you're not making any compromises or sacrifices, and you're still achieving the things that you need that money for, right? Okay, so um, there's a lot of things that I could talk about, but I don't know. If you're interested in this, subscribe and maybe leave a comment as to what you want me to talk about next.